Face of Fronts, true believers. Welcome to issue 144 of the Pitch Nerds. This is the weekly show where a couple nerds assemble to bring you the latest nerdy news, reviews, and occasionally pitch things and banter and nonsense. I am Cap, and with me today, as always, best friend, fellow nerd, and Soros-back shill, Mr. Frosty. Mr. Frosty, hello.
What up? I'm just putting up our Twitter link so people know that we're here.
Yes.
We're queer. Get used to it.
Shh. We don't want to attract the wokes.
I mean, if someone watches this, I don't care. They can be woke, unwoke, whatever.
Yeah. Hello.
I mean, if you want to be asleep and watch us, that's cool too.
Yeah. Fall asleep to my angelic baritone. Yes.
Yeah.
My goodness, what sort of fun things do we have going on this week? Behold, nerds, we are discussing. Here it is. Guilty Pleasures. This is Mr. Frosty's pick. The first 10 chapters. We have a surprise Behold, nerds, which is a boy and his heron. Or I'm sorry, the boy and the heron.
We review other stuff. I'm just gonna mix that into reviews. But yeah,
yeah.
We've been talking about the boy and the heron for a long time. I didn't really know what it was, but it just kept coming up every week. Like our news would be like, this won another award. This won another award.
Mm-hmm.
This did this. This did this, and it was just winning all the awards and all the acclaims.
Right.
And I'm like, we really got to see this movie.
Right.
You know. And then I sat down to watch Kite Man, and I put on Kite Man, and then before it, HBO gives you like little previews of shit, or I guess Max now. And then it's like Friday, and then it's like the boy and the heron, and I was like, wait, it's out. Like, we've been waiting years because like you had to like be in Japan to see it before, and then like it was like, hey, pay $30. I'm not paying.
Right.
But yeah, so I immediately texted Cap, and I was like, we got to watch this if you can squeeze it in because we've been talking about it forever. And then yeah, Kite Man. And then nerdy news. We don't have a Battle Nerds because we haven't made the list yet.
We can discuss. We can start making the list for Battle Nerds. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, and then we could also put up to people and everything like that. It's bear in mind any suggestions anyone gives. It's like, I mean, when I first made this list, and I was like, "What did people think?" Someone was like, "Chester Cheetah." I'm like, "Well, how the hell am I gonna argue?"
Right.
Chester Cheetah. Like he
has commercial power.
Yeah, Yo Noid,
right?
Like,
the Noid. He had his own game. No, Deeper Cut is the Spot.
Yeah, I played the Spot video game.
Yeah, Spot and the Noid each have video games.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, I did. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, well, we were also talking about we were gonna do it, but neither of us did. We need to talk about our next pitch.
Oh yeah.
And then so we got a lot overall. I mean, let's jump on in to some nerdy news, shall we?
Splash. Nothing at all of interest has happened this week whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm lying.
Okay.
What do we got?
Okay, so this is interesting because I saw it. I tried to get you to watch it, but you didn't. But fellow nerd Dan surprisingly did, and he was just like, "Wow, that was really good." I don't even like.
Is it Blue-Eyed Samurai?
Blue-Eyed Samurai, yeah. Because he said he doesn't even normally like anime, but I do feel like this is a little bit different than anime. But
yeah,
regardless, it won Best Animated Series at the Emmys. Other nominees were X-Men '97, Scavenger's Reign. This one's a bizarre one. The Simpsons. Like, I'm not saying it's not Best Animated Series, but like,
I feel like
they should have won that award. Like. I
think it's just obligatory. Yeah, I think they've won it multiple times. Yeah. Like,
and then Bob's Burger.
That show still. Yeah, I love Bob's Burger.
Blue-Eyed Samurai, though. I mean, it beat out '97, which I kind of get. I mean, I think I enjoyed '97 more, but Blue-Eyed Samurai, I mean, it just has more. Well, I don't know. They're both good.
I promise I will watch it. Now that it's Emmy Award winner. I will watch.
Oh,
That.
sure. Watch Fall Guy first. Like that movie's so good. If you got Peacock, if you don't, fucking rent it. I don't care. Watch it
Okay.
because you're gonna have a blast.
Okay.
I guarantee you. You'll be like, this movie's good. Don Cheadle, when asked about the status of Armor Wars, replied, "What's Armor Wars?" Now, I should point this out because that was all over Twitter, and I was like, "Does he not know what Armor Wars was?" So I looked it up. No, he was just joking. After he said that, he said he started giving info on it and stuff like that. So he was just saying he couldn't really reveal any of the info on it, but yeah, that was basically it. So it's not that Don Cheadle doesn't know what Armor Wars is. It was a joke.
He's being cheeky, obviously cheeky.
Yeah, well, a lot of people didn't pick up on that, and I mean, it was like discussing film was the account that, like, you know, their one, and they obviously wrote that tweet in a misleading way, you know.
Right.
But I just kept seeing it pop up, and people were like, "Oh, look at the MCU! Oh, he doesn't even know." And I'm like, "There's no way this is real." Like,
yeah.
No, I don't. Someone go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Someone I only know from HelloFresh commercials, Kiki Palmer. Have you ever seen her commercials on HelloFresh?
Probably.
I guess she does other stuff, like a singer and songwriter or something like that.
Okay.
But I only know her from the HelloFresh commercials where the girl is like, you know, like just like pizza again or something, and the lady's like, Kiki Palmer? She's like, hello, Susan, and then, yeah. I've seen it too many times, and then she's in bed with her, and she's like, breakfast. And the way she says it, for life. I don't know.
I've never seen this.
It comes, like, I forget what channel my sister had, but it was on before a lot of stuff she watched.
It's funny the different algorithms that each of us are triggering.
Well, if all you'd had to have would be like, I think it was like Hulu at the time. Like now we had the Disney Hulu thing, but yeah, it was just before. It was all over Hulu, HelloFresh, and they kept using Kiki Palmer. But anyway, I guess she's a singer-songwriter. I don't know. I was hoping you'd be like, oh yeah, Kiki Palmer. But
sounds like a stage name.
She's gonna star in a remake of The Burbs, a series. Exec producer it's gonna be produced by Seth MacFarlane, and it's gonna follow a young couple returning to the husband's childhood home, but deadly threats begin to shatter the illusion of their little neighborhood. Did you ever see the original Burbs with Tom Hanks?
I don't think so.
Really? How did you miss?
I might have, but I don't.
That's like one of those ones, like back in the day, you go to like Blockbuster, and just always there on the shelf, The Burbs, you know. And like, I guarantee you, like, real quick, Google The Burbs poster or VHS cover. You'll recognize that. It's, I'm guessing you saw it, just never rented it. But it was like 80s. God, we almost need to add that to Behold Nerds now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. See, if you're our age, you recognize that cover, even if you didn't know.
Okay. I don't think I've seen it.
They're doing a remake of it, but as a series, and Kiki Palmer, the HelloFresh lady, is going to star in it. Yeah. I did see something about they were thinking about making her Rogue in the MCU.
Okay.
And I mean, again, she's this famous singer / actress or whatever, and I was just like, oh, it's really nice the HelloFresh girl is like coming up in the world.
She's going up in the world. Like, remember when
Moonworm? Good for him.
Remember when George Clooney was in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Yeah.
Or when he voiced Sparky on South Park, like in the early days. Like, there you go.
Someone said, "Who's the coolest Bruce Wayne?" And they showed all the Batman, and it was just like, It's a weird question because if you think about it,
Bruce Wayne
like
isn't
the coolest one of them is probably George Clooney.
Right.
But like,
Michael Keaton is
it's not who's the best Batman; it's who's the coolest.
Right.
And I just even leaning against the car at the end of the Flash, just like George Clooney just being like, "Hey, I'm George Clooney," and everyone's like, "This is George." It's like I feel like he wins the cool one, but even if he's not, he doesn't come off as Bruce Wayne.
Right.
It's George Clooney.
Right. Yeah, I guess. I would say the coolest would be Michael Keaton, because he's more like, I mean, because he's pretending to be Bruce Wayne. He's aloof.
No, I think he's my favorite Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
but
as far as like
just
cool,
like,
hey,
yeah.
Look at me, I'm Bruce Wayne, chilling on my expensive car. Yeah.
But yeah, I found that interesting. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so this is so anyway, South Park is gonna return in 2025. Apparently they decided to skip the presidential election. Direct quote, "I don't know what more we could possibly say about Trump."
Yeah. It's funny because they never said it. Was Trump as Mr. It was Mr. Garrison that was playing Mr. Donald Trump, so it wasn't directly Donald Trump. But yeah,
but
I mean, no. Well, I know it's been beaten senseless. God, remember in that one Christmas show where the Burgermeister was like the bad guy, and then the solution was, he just died off, and the whole lineage died off, and everybody just sort of went on to be happy. Just
what's that from?
Was it Santa Claus is Coming to Town? That one, yes.
Yeah.
We had the Burgermeister, and he's like, "Rah!" And then they just wrapped it up like, yeah, they just died. Then everybody just got over it, moved on.
I mean, that happens, you know.
Yeah. But anyways,
it's like back in high school, I used to be like, man, I really hate those guys. And then one day I came to school and they were like, yeah, they were all arrested for selling drugs and they've been expelled and forever and they're gone. They live in another country now.
Right.
I was like, that problem took care of itself.
Right, that was great.
Anywho, Michael Keaton, speaking of him, he revealed his name is actually Michael Douglas. And he wants to change his professional acting name to Michael Keaton Douglas. I guess back in the day, SAG law was you couldn't
have the same
name as someone else.
Oh, okay.
So
where did Keaton come from? Is that...
all this time we've been calling him Michael Keaton, but his name is Michael Douglas.
God, this is going to be some weird Mandela effect in 30 years. Just you wait.
It reminds me of our mutual friend. We were at his wedding, and he goes by his middle name, not his first name. And then the priest said, "Do you, Steve?" And everyone was like, "Who the hell is Steve?" Did you say the wrong name?
Well, if you want me to chop hairs about it, he's technically with a PH, so he's a Steph. He's a pretender, Steve. You know among you who the true Steve is. It's the one with the V. Period.
Well, he doesn't go by that anyway.
I know.
He's not even pretending. I mean,
right. That is a Steph. There's no room for Stephs. Your name is Stefan, and you accept it.
Is that like the G off thing instead of Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a friend who, like, I was like, "Isn't Jeff spelled with 2 F's?" And he's like, "Yeah, my parents don't know how to spell." I was like, "It's not even short for Jeffrey." He's like, "No, they just 3 letters. That was good enough." Yeah.
That's easy. Anywho.
I got a buddy also, Ian, and everybody, like, back when he had a name tag, people go, Ian? And,
What?
uh,
Makes no sense.
Anywho, but yeah, so Michael Keaton is changing to Michael Keaton Douglas. I mean, you know what though? Like, I mean, I don't mind. I guess these actors keep going, but like you've been Michael Keaton for this long, is
Right.
it really? I mean, I guess if it's bugging you,
Yeah. Again, all he's doing is fanning the flame of a 30-year Mandela effect. I promise you. Calling it here right now. Mark the date, mark the time. Because then what'll
30
happen?
years from now,
Because then what'll happen is
there's robots fighting outside our window, and then we're talking and we're like, oh, do you remember Michael Douglas? And you're all like, do you mean Michael Keaton?
Yeah, it's Michael Douglas.
Hey, Matt Reeves says the Batman universe might push the edge to fantastical, but they never go full fantastical.
Ooh,
What was
edgelord
important-
daddy.
What was important to me was to find a way to take these pop icons, these mythic characters that everyone knows, and translate them so that Gotham feels like a place in our world. He points to characters like Gentleman Ghost as examples of being too fantastical. Another direct quote: "There's a fun way to think about how we would take characters that might push over a bit into the fantastical and find a way to make sense of that." I mean, Gentleman Ghost is pretty out there.
Yeah.
He's always that Batman character I forget about, and then I'm like, oh yeah.
Isn't he like a detective also? Gentleman Ghost.
I mean, the last thing I don't. He's like an upper crust.
Yeah, he's like the
even-
well-dressed, like...
Yeah,
snobby...
he was in the last Batman show, the one with Caped Crusader.
That's right. That's right. It's like, did I
they
just
made
see him
him,
recently?
Yeah. He shows up every once in a while, in Batman stuff. It's just he's one of those ones I always forget exists because he is a little bit kind of out of place in the.
Are you suggesting you and I do a Gentleman Ghost pitch here on the Pitch Nerds?
I wasn't. If you want to do Gentleman Ghost, go right ahead. But yeah, I don't know. He's a bit of a strange one for me. I saw this thing recently where saying like if Batman and Superman all of a sudden like swap rogues galleries, or not Superman, fucking Spider-Man. And I was just thinking, like, apart from Poison Ivy and Clayface is just like a low budget
Sandman
in a lot of ways. I guess they have similar, but you know what I mean. I just feel like Clayface is usually brought down much easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Batman's villains are more about psychology.
Yeah.
And, like, you know what I mean. It's
you know how I see it. Again, it was like when Terry took out the Joker just by laughing at his face because, you're not funny. You're just this pathetic clown trying so hard to make a guy laugh and just fuck with him a different way, a way that Peter Parker could do. More of like it's like an obnoxious kid. Like, I think that'd be fun to explore that.
Yeah, but like someone like Firefly is gonna be like nothing to like Spider-Man. A lot of these guys, like Two-Face.
Right.
I mean,
right, but Two-Face wouldn't just come out and be like there'd be like some bigger scheme behind it to take down.
Yeah, I know, but I just feel like Spider-Man's gonna be able to just handle it. You know what I mean? Like it's a different thing. It's psychology. It's detective noir. It's that kind of stuff. Spider-Man's villains are these larger than life. Like Spider-Man,
right.
You know, like they got that kind of feel. And
yeah, I mean, Batman had that moment too, but
but they're just
so.
But like Gentleman Ghost, though, I feel the point of it was Gentleman Ghost. I feel like almost fits better in the Spider-Man era of villain. The one that he has that is fantastical, but it's forever like in Gotham is Ivy. I think Ivy is one of the is more powerful, like just in terms of power. Because I mean, she's monstrously powerful.
Oh yeah, she's what do they call like an Omega level threat?
Yeah, well, Omega. Yeah. I don't know what they call.
I mean, doesn't she hang out with Swamp Thing also? Like,
I think they used to date or something.
Doesn't she have like similar powers to Swamp Thing as far as like control?
She does. They're both connected to the Green.
Yeah, that's the Green. That's it.
Yeah, but I think Swamp Thing's more powerful than her. But also, like he's, I don't know. It depends on the source. I mean, in my brain, he's not like he's not a villain, you know what I mean? Where although her villains, that's the thing. It's like you start saying something with confidence in comics, you start thinking of like, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And you're like, oh yeah. Anywho, I think it was a Batman who paid like several $1 million to like consult Luthor on how to defeat Swamp Thing.
Really?
And then he said you fire, like. Anyhow, Alison Brie has been cast as Evil Lynn in a live-action Masters of the Universe movie.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I don't know. Like, I see like maybe she's getting a little bit older. Although I still think it would work. Lena Headey, I think, would make an excellent Evil Lynn.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Alison Brie, I mean, you know what though? I'm gonna watch it because I love Alison Brie and it's Masters of the Universe.
Right.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I didn't see her performance in the wrestling thing that she was in. Maybe that was different. To me, she's Annie.
Yeah. It's been a while since Community.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know, because I always see Evil Lynn as like a little bit older, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, like Lena Headey, like
Lena Headey would be a lot better for that. Yeah, but I mean, just.
Well, didn't she voice her? That's probably where my brain went there. Didn't she
she did. Yeah, she voiced her in the Kevin Smith one. God, that was such a good voice cast. God, that was such a good voice cast. Yeah, she'd make a good live action.
And not to keep talking about it, but Fall Guy. I was watching Fall Guy, and I was like, damn that. Because I watched it twice now. I might watch it a third time. What's it? The producer character. I forget her name, but she's the producer for the film. Not the real film, but the film within the film.
Right.
She her voice, I was like, this British voice, and I was like, God, who is that voice? And you know, like that gets in your brain, and you're like, what is that voice? Whose voice is she doing?
Right.
I happened once, like back in the '90s when I was watching Friends. I was like, who? And then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, she's Tommy Pickles.
E.G. Daily.
Yeah. But in this one, it was Crepopolis. It's the goddess in Crepopolis. She does that kind of upper crust British voice, like looking down on you so well, and so it was like so good. That's another show you should have watched.
I think I watched an episode, and I couldn't get into it. But I should
really.
I should go back and give it a fair shot, because normally I try to give episodes like the 4th episode to get hooked. Because it's, I don't know. I need to watch more things.
It's got all the right ingredients. It's got Dan Harmon.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of good voice actors. And just the jokes in it are so funny. The way they're like creating society as they go and stuff. I like the dogs. You know, like they're like, oh, wolves and man, they'll never get along. And they're like man's worst friend. And then they're like, yeah, put that on it. And then like one of them ends up hanging out with a wolf, and then they like decide that like a meeting of the species, and the wolves are like their skin, it's like salty when you lick it, it's delicious, and they give you food, and like the guy's like, look, you guys can't take this deal. They want you to clean up their poop, and like And then someone showed like the puppy. They're like, this is what their babies did. They're like, we don't care. Do it anyway. They get cuter each time to make a new one. And like, I was like, haha, because that's a clever joke on how they're turning into dogs.
Right.
You know? Like, I like stuff like that. That I'm like, I feel smart now.
Yeah.
Even though it's pretty obvious.
That's hilarious.
But you almost want someone in the room that didn't get that joke so you can explain it to them. Let me tell you why that was funny.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, yeah.
Something similar happened at the bar the other day, but I can't say it live.
Oh, you can't?
No. It was one of those things where it's like, one person got it, and it's like, I'm going to leave you to explain it to this guy. I'm going to go do something else.
James Gunn was asked what he would call a hypothetical Batman and Superman team-up movie. And he gave the most obvious response. How would you call it anything else?
Super Friends.
No.
Oh.
World's Finest.
Oh. I like
That's
Super
what they're always called in the...
I know, but I want the Super Friends.
But Super Friends has more.
Right, it's got the kids and the dog. James Gunn goes for the obscure. No, that's cool. So that means he's given it thought.
What else would you call it though? Like it's got to like if you're putting Batman and Superman.
Yeah, World's Finest
team up movie. It's got to be called World's Finest. This is what I want. I want World's Finest, but fuck Batman and Superman. I want Power Girl and Huntress. That's what I want.
So, but then if you were to throw Wonder Woman into the mix, call it Trinity. Yes, the Holy
It's
Trinity.
no longer the Trinity. Damn it, the Trinity. Stop ruining things.
I'm not ruining things. I think that'd be cool. That could be the third movie.
Put it up on Twitter. The worst opinion ever on the internet. I hope he dies.
Woke. Oh my goodness.
Ridley Scott responds to not calling Russell Crowe about Gladiator 2 because I guess he didn't call him.
Mm.
And he said, I think we have a good relationship. I hope we do. As long as he doesn't start bitching about how he wasn't consulted. Why would I? He's dead. Yeah, his character died.
but he's needed for the obligatory flashback, Frosty. That's how it works. How else are people supposed to connect with the Gen Z kids?
It's funny to me that like he's like, yeah, I'm making a Gladiator 2, like a sequel to Gladiator, and then like people are like, oh, like Russell Crowe's not in it. What the? It's like
he died.
Did you not see Gladiator?
You need to have the obligatory flashback.
Guess what? The what's it? The Emperor guy wasn't in it either. Caesar, or he died as well. God, what was that guy's name?
Which one?
Yeah, the bad guy in the film.
I don't know. I saw that movie once, and so you know.
I know,
what?
but he's a famous historical character. But he was known for doing that in gladiator fights. What he did in the movie where he stabbed him.
So
he would wound the gladiators beforehand.
Yeah,
and then he was the emperor that fought in more gladiator events than any other person, but they were all heavily rigged. So he was like a modern day dictator. I guess that probably been happening.
It wasn't Caligula, was it?
No. Gosh.
Caesar. So you just triggered a memory from a long time ago when this movie came out. So I remember somebody in the house had rented it, and I tried watching it. And I didn't like the fight choreography. I remember it being too choppy, and that took my brain out. And
That was Emperor Commodus.
Commodus.
Marcus Aurelius. Wait, I'm sorry. It was...
No, so I remember when I was trying to watch it when I was younger, and it was so choppy with the fight choreography. It kept doing the jump skips, and I remember that sucking me out at the time, and that's why I didn't really watch the movie through.
Yeah.
Its entirety.
That was like one of like the most like everyone loved that film. But I agree with you. I watched the choreography since, and I was like, yeah, and they do use a lot of jump cuts.
Because I remember the jump cuts. And I remember watching it. It was just really hard to follow. It's just jump.
The way they got around that was they explained to you what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because remember he was like, "Oh, I'm in the military now. Everyone shield."
Right.
And so that was their workaround.
Mm.
But yeah, I agree. You know, that would be like, I know that Ridley Scott's. I mean, yeah, I'm not I just think if you could borrow Snyder's like
Style. Yeah.
yeah, his like, yeah, I think that would look cool.
Mm.
Let's take a quick break. I'm gonna bring my kitty back in.
Yeah, we will be right back. Cats. Anyways, welcome back.
Josh Brolin
Oh,
has reportedly been offered to play Hal Jordan in a Lantern series.
he kind of old.
That's what I thought, but I think the idea is that the main Lantern they're going with in the DCU, I've heard this anyway, is going to be Jon Stewart.
Okay.
And so they're going to have Hal Jordan be like
The mentor.
there, but like kind of like as a mentor, the previous Lantern kind of thing.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's cool? So, Stewart always had the better constructs.
Well, it's not that he had the better. So they're different.
Yeah.
He focused on, he was a soldier and he focused on the construction.
Yeah.
And the more detail you put in, like, the better they were. So his like were like machines and like military, like, and stuff like that. But I think Hal Jordan had the most willpower, and then Kyle Rayner was the most creative. Because he's an artist and stuff.
Yeah.
Kyle Rayner's my favorite of the Lanterns.
Yeah.
Just because, and specifically, now this is where I mean when you say better, in my mind he's got the best constructs because they're like he's helping someone up, and then rather than like just being like, you know,
There's
here
big,
a
glove or some
big
shit.
hand.
Yep.
Yeah, he makes it like a bunch of like sexy women being like, "Oh, come on, get up!" Like, you know, and like they're all helping him up.
Nice.
And it's just like, and it's because he's an artist. Yeah, I would never have thought to do a construct like that.
Right.
I would just do the big handle all the time.
Right.
You know, like, my brain, I would be like, think of something clever. Oh, fuck.
God, to have lantern powers, that'd be fun.
But I do like Jon Stewart a lot. I think bringing him in is smart. I think he did really well in the Justice League Unlimited show and Justice League cartoon.
Guy Gardner's also going to be in it, so I wonder how they're going to tie him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he sucked and was fired, and then Jon Stewart came in. Who knows how they're going to write it? But I don't know.
Yeah, but the I forgot what's going. So he did well in that, and then I heard this, and then you told me a direct story where, like, you were doing like a comic trivia with people, and I've heard other people say this because it was people got so used to Jon Stewart, they thought that Green Lantern was a black dude, and then so like they're like, oh, they've made him white. This is whitewashing, and it's like, no, that's Hal Jordan. That was the guy before,
Right.
and like and people, and that's how well Jon Stewart did. So that's what I mean. Like I think he's a lot of people's favorite.
Oh, he was
So,
he was the one in the Justice League, wasn't he? In the
yeah, that's
in
what I'm
the
saying.
animated,
Just
yeah.
that was why he was so ubiquitous. Like, with
Yeah.
it was because of the Justice League cartoon and Justice League Unlimited. People thought he just was Green Lantern.
Well,
It's like the younger people.
so with me, I had the similar issue with the Flash between Wally and Barry. Where
Okay.
yeah, so to me, I didn't realize that both were two different characters. I guess I don't know. It was just I was always confused. As to,
You were watching the Justice League cartoon, and you were just like, "Oh, it's a Flash,"
right?
and then like, yeah, I do remember telling you, like, I was like, "Oh, Wally West is the best one."
Yeah.
But you were like Barry Allen, and I was like, and you're like, "Isn't Wally West?" Because yeah, similar thing that there's a black Wally West,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, "No, the original Wally West," and like. And I'm like, there's two guys. They just their names are Wally West, and they're both Flashes. I mean, there's a lot of speedsters. Okay, shut up.
Right. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. I mean that I'm really excited for what James Gunn's doing with DC. Creature Commando should be coming out soon, I would think, right?
Yeah. The trailer looked fine.
Yeah.
It didn't get me super stoked, but we'll see. That's probably I see a lot of people going, who asked for this. I am interested in seeing Creature Commandos. But I can understand.
It just people shouldn't need to ask for certain things. Things should just be delivered, and things should be received.
And nobody asked for Guardians, and that became
Right.
like the biggest superhero franchise there was.
Right.
Stop looking at the blinds, or you will be in trouble. Hey, get down. It's just like he wants to look through the blinds, but he sticks his head through it. Why he's going to damage him? So he's kind of going like this, trying not to look down them.
Cats.
Let's see if I can get it.
He's trying to figure out the blind.
Yeah, he's trying to like look like down.
Yeah, he's looking down it so he can see. Yeah.
Because he doesn't want, he knows he'll be in trouble. Anywho, so Josh Brolin, yeah.
Yep.
And then last thing, Ian McKellen has revealed that he's been asked to return as Gandalf for Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Golem.
God, did we ask for this? Who asked for this?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say, because usually when we're talking about really old actors, you're usually going like, leave them alone.
I mean, right, I was building up to it. He belongs in a museum. God. Leave him alone! God, they're
I
gonna
know, because I guess a lot of people feel that way, and then he addressed you specifically. He said, he will continue acting as long as the legs, the lungs, and the mind keep working. I'm not letting anyone else put on that pointy hat and beard if I can help it.
You know what? I applaud that. I applaud that.
See, I knew that was going to be your thought, too. Like, yeah, Gandalf is yours.
Yeah. God, be buried in your casket wearing the pointy hat. Just clenching the staff. You know what? Yeah, let them. Hey, you know what? It's like Harrison Ford. If they want to keep getting wheeled out there, just give them a shot of adrenaline and slap them on the cheeks a couple times and make sure their skin is flushed and get them out there. Wheel them out.
You need something to do even when you retire, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, might as well. And it sounds like, I mean, think about it. If, like, you were like, yeah, my job is to pretend to be like Gandalf. Like, you'd be like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep doing that. I don't care if I'm 80. I'm rich enough. I'll just have some chick follow me around and change my diaper for me.
Amen.
Anywho, that's all I got. You got anything else for the news?
God, I did, but I can't remember. So let's talk about things.
Right.
What is it? Agatha drops in a couple weeks. You're
Yeah,
interested?
yeah.
Yeah.
We will be watching it. Uh, assuming it, like, I don't know how long I can guarantee. Kev will try and watch probably. He said he watches 4 episodes, so we can probably guarantee 4 episodes out of Cap, depending on how good it is. I will watch the whole thing. I'm excited because kind of when we started the show, it was WandaVision.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the sequel to
The
that.
circle is now complete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'll watch it till it ends. Oh God, there's one other thing that I just had, but it slipped away. Let's move on.
So we jump into some reviews. I am excited to talk Behold Nerds because I've been really excited to talk Laurel K. Hamilton with someone else who has read it. So go ahead, introduce Behold Nerds.
Okay, so Behold Nerds, this is our weekly segment where we each take turns suggesting. Primarily, it's been watching, but we actually brought it back down to Oprah's book club. So, in the mail a couple weeks ago, I got a package addressed to Pitch Nerd. It was very football shaped, so I anticipated a football, or at least a hockey stick. They're both of similar shape and size, so it was one or the other. But to my chagrin, when plopped out a book.
How weird would that be if you opened it and you're like, a football? This had to have been a mistake. He thought this was something else.
It just had an innocuous winky smiley emoji on it. Anyways, so I had never read this book. A while ago, I made a snarky comment about Twilight and how if I had the rings of Twilight, I would go after the targeted fan base by addressing by going after another fan base, and how I completely do blah 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 blah, just as a spiteful rampage. So, guilty pleasures. Frosty said, "Read this and shut the fuck up," and he explained a little bit to me. He said,
so when I was in high school, my friend at the time, he said he was telling me about his character named Anita Blake, and I was just listening to him talk about her all the time. And he was obviously reading these books, and so then I decided to read the books too, because your friend keeps not shutting up about something, you're gonna check it out. So I bought the first one, Guilty Pleasures. I read it. I did that thing because I was like, damn it, he knows all the stuff I don't know. So I was just consuming them as fast as I could. But it got me really into the kind of stuff I love most, and it's inspired me to write, inspired most of my art. Despite the fact that I know this isn't necessarily, I mean, it's a good book. It is good. But so the thing is, it's a book aimed at a female demographic. Clearly, it's kind of got that supermarket. I'm gonna say like romance trash kind of. Yeah,
kinda. It's a little bit.
I think that this is elevated. She's not a perfect writer, but she's an excellent writer. I mean, she's got her book and Obsidian Butterfly in the series is fantastic. So I wanted to revisit Anita Blake. She's been adapted into Marvel. Maybe at some point you look at the comic.
Oh,
cool. To see. They did all of Guilty Pleasures in Marvel Comics.
Oh, it's cool.
And anyway, so
we read the first 10 chapters.
I sent it as a cat. We've agreed to read the first 10 chapters. So yeah, this is your first dip into the world of Anita Blake, a vampire hunter. What did you think?
So immediately, I liked Anita Blake. The one I was trying to take a good screenshot of it. It was just a quote where it's where she's talking to the person on the phone after she just got home from a long day, and she's just exhausted, and she's being hit with all this nonsense about a bachelorette party, and she said something to the effect of, "I wanted to scream at her, but I knew it'd make her cry, so I didn't."
Yeah.
Something to that effect. I'm like, I kind of know that. I really know that feeling. That's a cross I bear every single day I encounter people. So that quote right there, it's just like, God, I like her already. So we're 10 chapters in, so she's, as you mentioned before, she's an animator. Essentially, society has accepted vampires and just, let's just call it the occult, for lack of a better term. Just
Yeah, so they know vampires exist,
like lichens
werewolves and
exist.
stuff. I mean, I think they always knew in that universe that these things existed, but they've allowed vampires to become legal citizens.
Right.
So additionally, that means there's cops that need to enforce it, but the cops are woefully unprepared.
Right.
It used to be down to a few skilled elite, like vampire hunters, Anita being one of them. So one of her jobs is she goes and hunts vampires. Then she also, now that this new police unit's been set up, she's a consultant for the police. And then the primary way she makes money is she works as an animator, which that's how they handle like legal disputes and stuff. Like imagine if you die but you didn't like
leave a will or something. Yeah.
She can show up, raise the corpse, and then it'll sign any paperwork it needs, and then
she'll even bring the chickens. I love that part.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's interesting because, like, I mean, small spoilers. She isn't just an animator.
Yeah, I figured as much.
And a big character in my novel is inspired by what she one day becomes. A lot of my novel is. My primary vampire is vaguely inspired by Jean-Claude. But yeah, so we meet Anita. She's working at her job. She gets a guy she knew in life. So she's kind of like that. This kind of think of like a bounty hunter character, but also working as this.
She kind of reminds me of like a Jessica Jones type ish.
Kind
of in that wheelhouse of human, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, she carries guns and stuff. Her animator abilities give her the ability to somewhat resist vampires, and she's obviously got a relationship with the vampire community. They call her the Executioner. So she's talking to this guy Willie. He wants to hire her for a job. She basically turns him down, says she's not going to work for vampires. But as you mentioned, this woman called her about her best friend Ronnie's bachelorette party.
Right.
And this thing about Laura K. Hamilton, all her books are kind of every minute of Anita's life, and you're just like, holy shit, this is the busiest human I've ever seen. But because she finishes work, oh shit, now I'm gonna go do this party. So she goes to the bachelorette party. She meets Ronnie. It turns out this woman is really into vampires, and so she takes him to a vampire strip club called Guilty Pleasures.
Yes.
So that's where we're introduced to Jean-Claude. Basically, there's some flirting going on between her and Anita, but she pretty much hates all vampires.
Right.
She leaves because she gets called for consultation. So there's this weird kind of puzzle case going on that the police are trying to figure out. What were the details?
It was either they were trying to figure out if it was ghouls or zombies or flesh-eating zombies, and they're
but nothing quite makes sense because you would have had to like kill the body and moved it, and this is consecrated ground. So it was really interesting.
So
it's setting up.
She I like how she built the world. Like, okay, there's a difference between zombies and was it wraiths or not wraith? Rights or no. God, what was it?
And it's not done as exposition because you have Dolph.
Right.
I love Dolph's character, by the way. But you have Dolph who doesn't know what this stuff is.
Right.
So he becomes the audience, going like, "Wait, what's going on here?"
Right.
Like, and then by having her be a police consultant, is a really clever way that allows her to explain the rules of the world to you, the reader.
Right.
I thought that was clever.
Yeah. So what I really like is how they describe how the vampire, let's call it the mind influence works. How just standing in their presence, don't lock eyes with them, because if you do, you're going to fall into their spell, and how it just overcomes you. It even overcomes her, even with she has resistance. It's like she's always living in a state of fear because she's just constantly around them, which I thought was
well, so she knows why she has to be.
Right. So what I like about her is that even though exterior she's badass, and they make it a point to make it clear exterior badass, but internally she's fighting all these things, and I
Yeah.
like that. I mean, that makes a good, let's call it, female character. I mean, any character in general, but that's one thing that I like about her. Every time she's around any vampire, even like the one standing at the door, is like, oh, there's that feeling of fear down my spine and the tingle of sweat and blah blah blah. It's cool. I dug it.
Yeah. So they return to Guilty Pleasures, and then Ronnie. They've basically, it's all a ruse. They wanted the beginning of the book takes place where they sent originally Willie, but now they're like, no, you're working for the master of the city,
Right.
Nicholas.
Right.
Who we haven't met yet, but I know who she is. So do we meet Jean-Claude? Basically, Ronnie's been like captured forever by the vampires, and they can call her to her at any time.
Right.
And so they force Anita to work for them.
Mm-hmm.
She gets wounded, so then that's the other thing. Jean-Claude has to save her.
Right.
And
so he gives her like a part of his life force or something to sustain her.
Yeah, she becomes a human servant, but it's like, but it weakens the his ability to dominate her, like, and also strengthen her.
Right.
And so her character does grow exponentially as the series goes on. Like, she gains more and more. Like, she becomes like the queen of a leopard part and stuff, and like all sorts of crap.
Nice.
But were leopards, of course. It's actually really funny. It's one of my favorite parts. They all sleep together like a pile of like puppies or kittens or whatever.
As they do.
And like and then like the cops call her and she can't move, and they're all answering the phone, and then it finally gets to her and they're like, dude, how many people are in bed with you? Oh my god. And like they're like, was one of them a woman? And then all the cops are like, oh my god. And like, it's really funny. But what was I say? Oh yeah, so she gets thrown. She gets like comes down called human servant, and then she gets thrown in the prison cell. And that's where it gets a little weird. The were-rats show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sort of came out of nowhere. That was like a big thing to happen before another thing. That was odd.
Yeah, but it's kind of her style, man. It's just every minute, like it's like something going on.
Like,
yeah.
You would think the vampires would know that there's this giant hole in this dungeon. Like, wait.
No, they did.
Oh, right. But just. Oh yeah, that's right, because they were trying to test her again. They're always testing her.
It's because Nicholas is her animal to call is a rat. It actually all fits, though. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, her animal to call is a rat, and then so she called those rats to like fuck with Anita, and basically like kind of like that's what they're all sadistic assholes,
right?
Because they're all evil.
Right.
So it was just like, I'm gonna destroy this human being, you know.
Well, she's waiting for them to. Like,
yeah, but she, she fights her way out of it and stuff. But then what happens is the Rat King, the king of the were rats, he shows up. He's actually a pretty major character in the series. But he shows up and then he's like, "Yeah, don't be assholes. Come on, let's go."
Yeah.
And they're out to like, "Yeah, oh shit, man."
Well, there was who she thought was the Rat King, but then the Rat King showed up, and after she beat the shit out of the real one showed up, and he carted his ass away, and
and then we've been introduced to the King of the Were-Rats. He's another major character, and then I think that's where it ended, right? Is she's being taken to Nicholas.
Yeah, it ended right there.
So anyway, so far I think it's been it's fun ride, re-experiencing it, and if you ever read my stuff, it's very similar. Even like the presence of the vampires and stuff, like rereading it, I'm like, oh yeah, I did borrow a lot, didn't I? So, I mean, it's different though, but
So that's probably my favorite part so far, is how they describe the vampires and their actions and their control and their influence. I like that. Never stare one in the eyes. If you do, you're just going to be enthralled, and you're going to be, she sent him to squeeze her nails into her palms to try to break from it. But even then, you need more than just that. You need to have like other holy items and shit to like really fight. Like,
I just like her like toughness, you know, like fuck, I'm going in, I've got my guns,
Right.
like I've got my fucking cross,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and she like, and as like when she had to throw down, she does work at it as a character too. Like she goes running with that chick Ronnie a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and then she explains that like it's like when she like takes off her shirt, like her whole body is covered with scars
Mm-hmm.
just from being a vampire hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And like her doctors have said, like you have to stay in constant shape. If you don't, your body's gonna lock up and you won't move again. And so she's like, that's like her body is damaged and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It gets better because obviously she gets powers. You know,
Of course.
powers solve everything, or they cause more problems. Yes, like exponentially.
Yeah.
It depends on your powers.
Right.
And how you look at things, I suppose.
Right. It's all in your outlook.
Yeah. Although, actually, that's the thing in this world, and this is one thing I've seen in other vampire literature, but I do it as well, is being a vampire. A lot of times you think, like, oh, hell yeah, I become a vampire. But see, like, if you're a vampire, you're immediately someone's bitch in this world.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, that's it. And
it's
they're
funny how
always
she
evil, sadistic assholes.
and it's funny how she knows it. Like, no, you're
Yeah.
not this person, Matt. No, you just. How do I know? You just don't carry yourself like somebody who's been around, like ancient. Like, there's a
Yeah.
difference in how they conduct themselves. You are not that, and that's cool how she calls each of them out in their own way.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's what pisses him off. But yeah, but I mean,
Right.
think about it though. If you become a vampire, immediately the person above you,
right,
like who created you, is always above you.
right.
And then there's the person above them, and it's this forever line. You never be the person on top, and that's your life now. And the thing is, it's like getting the worst job ever because the people above you they're the most sadistic people.
Right.
Like you see what they do just for fun.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that's also something I like to explore because like it's like you think like in my novel it's like we're cows but because we don't know we're kind of more free because like a cow on a farm it doesn't know it's just going around
So,
you know like
Yeah.
and like they're the predators you know.
So I have a ton of shit like this in Quantum. So the Commonwealth, where the evil space worms live. So everybody who entered this world gets like the nanomachines grafted to them, and it just becomes a part of them as a person. They hacked into it and repurposed it into a virus that turns them into just autonomous thing. It's sort of like, remember when Robotnik showed up? It's like, blue streets by, and like he just terraformed it. It's sort of like that, kind of. But
Yeah.
because they're gracious overlords, they allowed cognitive free will, but at the loss of their autonomous function. So it'd be like, "Hi, Frosty, how you doing? Oh, just another day," and they're just doing locked out of their own body, just doing things, but they can still like talk to each other. So, yeah, it's fun just having the ultra dick characters, and you can just be sadistic to like things. It's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just, but like, I don't know. I like that element to the universe that like.
Where there's always like a
yeah, but like so much so like it's like you'd have it. That's the thing. They're these more powerful creatures, but they're the ones that are almost enslaved.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like the vamp or the werewolves. Stuff,
Yeah.
Like, or any of the lichens. They're survivors
right,
because like that's been like you got attacked by one you got infected
right,
and you somehow lived.
right,
But and it's like, oh, I survived, Jay, and it's like, yeah, well, now you're a lichen, so you got to be a member of our pack, and now we get to beat the shit out of you every day.
yeah.
And it's like, this is what I have to do now. Yeah, but you get to be like faster and stronger and everything, but nowhere near as compared to everybody else. You're the weakest of the weak.
Yeah. God.
Anywho,
Anywho.
so what are your thoughts? What's your rating?
I love it. Shut up and take my money.
Okay.
I
So I figure you said we got no show next week, but so it is your pick. So we'll do your pick, and then we got 3 weeks. And we'll do 11 through 20.
Yeah, sure, let's do it. So,
All right.
in my ongoing thing of Star Wars, which we are not sick of yet, you've probably seen this movie. I haven't, but apparently there was another version, like a Star Wars successor, an inspiration that came from Star Wars. Apparently it was a higher budget space opera than Star Wars, but it just didn't really take off. I know I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it. It is available to rent on YouTube and Prime, Apple. We're watching Kroll.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll watch Crawl.
Yeah, I've never seen Kroll. Have you seen Kroll?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never seen it. Apparently, it's like
It's
Star
gonna be a
Wars.
slog by today's standards, but like,
Yeah.
that's okay. I'll be interesting to revisit it. Did you ever see? It would be so shitty by today's standards, and also like he's such a dick. But Call the Conqueror with Kevin Sorbo, I enjoyed the shit out of that movie as a kid. Like I watched it like 3 or 4 times. Like, did you see it?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It was Kevin Sorbo and like
Was this pre-Hercules?
this is after Hercules.
Oh, post-Hercules. Oh, shit.
It had Tia Carrera as like the evil like sorceress and stuff, and then and then he fought with an axe, but then like he needed to prove himself with a sword, but he lost his sword.
Oh,
then he
yeah.
comes back with an axe at the end, and metal's playing, and
That sounds awesome. Okay.
Anywho, but yeah, Crawl's good. And that's the one with the spinning like. Right?
Yeah.
The guy turns into a tiger and shit. And like, yeah, I remember that.
I know bits of this movie, but I know I haven't seen the movie in its entirety. So apparently it's a Star Wars clone. So let's fucking watch some Star
I
Wars.
didn't know it was a Star Wars clone. But
Well,
okay.
apparently it was like influence from Star Wars. So and it was a higher budget. So let's fucking watch it. I'd never seen it before. Let's fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Apparently read.
I think of it as like a high fantasy version of like kind of like a more family friendly higher fantasy Conan.
Okay.
That's kind of where but that's my childhood brain. I haven't seen this in years.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, child me never connected this to Star Wars. So it's interesting you say that. I'm interested to see what that, because it was like there's a druid,
Right.
But of course I played D&D, so that's probably like because in my brain I'm like, oh yeah, that's a druid, and oh he's got like a throwing magic thing. So it was it's D&D. It's
Okay.
that's where I'd put it at. But yeah, it's cool. Let's see. This is interesting. So we got some details on Noah Hawley's Aliens Earth series. Have you seen the?
Yeah.
They
So
dropped the teaser for this.
I didn't see the teaser, but I think
all it was,
the poster, right?
Yeah, well, all the teaser was just like the alien with the Earth.
The Earth, yeah. I think it was fellow nerd Adrian.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fellow nerd Adrian, I think, posted it. But yeah, that'd be cool. I wonder where that would take place within the myth.
So apparently, here are the details. It follows a group who make a fateful discovery when exploring a crashed space vessel set 30 years before the first Alien film. It stars Sidney Chandler, Timothy Oliphant, and Alex Lothar. It's coming out on Hulu in 2025.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of weird now, like Disney and Hulu are like, because like it's like you see Disney and then you click on it and then you're like, hey,
Aliens. Yeah. You know what? they've found their price. Remember, everybody will sell out. You just haven't been offered enough money yet. Disney found it.
I'm extremely cheap. If someone needs me to sell out, I will sell out right now. I will sell out for an all-time low. I'm just saying, just hit that donate us some coffee or whatever button a few times and let me know what you need. You want us to review one of your shows? Sure, I don't care.
Here's something funny. So yesterday, this kind of tying back into nerdy news and Disney, but I had talked about this. Disney has pulled its channels from DirecTV, and as a result, if you work at a sports bar, you're unable to show the sport. So it's interesting to see the cloud, to just the audacity, just like, yep, boop, just to unplug and just like that, just they take it away. I forgot where I was going with that.
I just imagine myself sitting there and everything, rabble, 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 rabble. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, can we put on something else like Spider-Man or something? Like,
Drone racing. God, drone racing's fun.
How about some? Let's put on some EMH.
Anyway, something about selling out.
I know you could get the bar. I know that you could get the bar all going like, always will we fight as one until the battle's won.
They rhymed one with one.
That's brilliant.
So yesterday, outside my work, there was a pop-up for some type of anime thing, I would describe it. Just, those cute little plushy things. There's a miso things in the store. But they had all these influencers out there, and they were dressed in like that schoolgirl Lolita style thing. And
Okay.
it was interesting, but what was telling was some of them wandered into my bar, and I was asking them about the thing, and they just said, "Oh, we're just here because some outside thing paid us a bunch of money to be here. We don't really know what it is. Here's some money and some spending money to buy some merch, and then take back your channel and be like, ah, dipper, 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 dip." So, it's weird to see how the sausage is made. So, if you need somebody to go, dipper, 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 dip, come visit us at the Pitch Nerds. It's glorious. It's just fascinating, because they were all dressed up, and there was a line for hours, and it was like a little pop-up merch store, and it's just, I guess it was the introduction of like a hamster character. I don't know, it reminded me of like a Sanrio type thing, just this little fat, squishy, just, I don't know, anime-looking thing. But the line went around forever, and everybody was dressed up in like the schoolgirl thing, and they had the selfie sticks, but none of them knew why they were there. They were just given a bag of money and told what to dress as and show up.
Wouldn't you feel bad if you showed up and you weren't like getting paid? You just were excited for it.
You're a genuine fan.
Yeah. Those are the people I get where I'd be like, "What the fuck?" Because there's right. Like I would be mad at the. Because I'd be like, yeah, I'm one of the real fans, right. Not one of these paid fans.
Yep.
So anyway,
so give us a bag of money, we'll show up.
I'll show up. Yeah.
We look great as
the real fans. Like I said, I'll sell out. I just laid down my moral. I'm like, yeah, I respect that. And then you're like, money, and I'm like, yes.
God,
that's a good idea.
God, it was so funny because two of them came to the bar. They weren't dressed as anything special, and it's like, so explain in as few of words to an elderly millennial what is going on outside. And they said, we were just paid to be here and film things. It's like, that's very interesting. Like, you're just go here and film things? Were you told what to film? He said, oh, no, just film. And then we take it back to the humans, and they edit, and they do a thing. And it's like, that's very interesting. And then some who were actually dressed up as the things came in. It's like, okay, so explain in this few of words what's going on outside. Like, oh, no, we were just paid by some company to be here, and they gave us $100 in spending money to go buy this hamster creature, and apparently there's going to be a hamster creature that comes out and says hi to everybody. And I'm like, I hope it's 109 degrees when that happens. That'll really showcase the overall architecture, which is the American corporate system. Right, but the show must go on, Frosty. All these people who are paid to be there for the thing to pretend to be excited over the plush monster have to be the thing. Meanwhile, this poor bastard who's dying in this costume has just regretting.
That's horrible.
I know, and these people are unaware of who this person is, or the soul that's slowly dying in this overstuffed mascot costume. Well, it's 109,000 degrees outside, but it's okay because I've been told by another human that it's actually global cooling. We're cooling right now, and that's my rant. Oh, my papa got a cat.
I got a rant.
Wait, go on. You go on your rant, and then I have a cat rant. Because, my God, I have a cat rant.
Can Batman with prep time beat another Batman with prep time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the Batman Who Laughs. We saw this. Yeah, so the Batman Who Laughs, who's a Batman who has prep time to attack another Batman, was beaten by main Batman because main Batman injected himself with the Joker toxin just enough to where he can get to the precipice of that level of insanity while still holding on. This is paramount to who I am as a human. Just teetering the needle to right fucking there to beat the crap out of the Batman Who Laughs and just reel himself in enough to where he can resume being cool and collective Batman. Absolutely yes. Final answer.
Okay. My thought was like, it depends on which Batman we're talking.
Yeah.
Because, like, take Bat West.
I was going to drop in Bat West.
He doesn't need prep time.
He just has anti-bat.
He's got his utility belt, which solves basically every problem.
Right.
And so, like, imagine him with prep time. Like, what ungodly thing would he create? So yeah, it depends on which Batman you're talking about. Bat Patterson. Oh, have we talked to Boy in the Heron yet?
No, not yet.
We gotta talk to Boy in the Heron.
Yeah.
But yeah. Speaking of, this is a good segue. Bat Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice the voice of the Heron?
I did not.
That was Batman.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah, with Robert Pattinson voicing the Heron in the English dub, this makes him the third Batman actor to voice the title role in a Ghibli movie. After Michael Keaton in Porco Rosso in 1992 and Christian Bale in Howl's Moving Castle.
I haven't seen any of those. I haven't seen Howl's Moving Castle. I haven't seen the other one.
All right. So, anyway, we were talking earlier, Boy and the Heron.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a Miyazaki film. Are you familiar with Miyazaki?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Miyazaki. I just haven't seen Moving Castle or the
Which one have you seen?
So Totoro, was it the Kiki's Delivery Service? Spirited Away, of course, that's the big one. Actually, the musical dropped on YouTube. You should watch that. Mrs. Cap watched that the other week. It's phenomenal. There's Ponyo. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That was a bizarre one. I think that's it. Mostly, I think that's mostly it.
I haven't watched all of them. I try to sit down and do like a marathon of them. I watched quite a few. Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, those are my two favorites. But then I saw Totoro. Oh God, and a few others. I can't even remember.
There's one that I know I'm missing that it's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't remember what it is. But no, I think I'm thinking of Ponyo.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen Ponyo.
Ponyo is just all of his movies have a
okay.
similar kind of flow to them. I like his movies.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect going. Oh, I don't think so. See, I don't necessarily. Some of his movies are very deep, and some of his movies are less deep. I mean, obviously, the thing when you're looking at Miyazaki is the hand-drawn art style.
Yes.
These movies are gorgeous.
Disney wishes it could come anywhere close to this level of artwork. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's sort of like the last bastion of like really just fine animation art, I guess, hand-drawn animation art is Studio Ghibli. Yeah. Because there's no way that they'd ever go animated. That would destroy the whole institute of Studio Ghibli, I think. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's oh god, it was a weird because the title, "The Boy and the Heron," evoked a different movie to me than what we got.
So,
and I found the movie like kind of, I was like, wow, this is not what I thought. It was much more.
This is
a movie you could watch several times and
right.
Like, figure something out. But it also reminded me of those kind of classic Labyrinth style movies. You know what I mean? A little bit. Like, yeah, like because it's you go into this other world, but it's a freaky fucking world.
It reminded me of Spirited Away a little bit in that sense, where you kind of get taken to the other world. So this doesn't impact my rating at all, but I agreed to watch this. It was pizza night with me and Mrs. Cap, and we kind of figured out the movie about a third of the way through. Now that doesn't.
What do you mean figure it out?
Like figure what the movie was telling about how. Because his mother died in a fire, and we have his father who remarried. Well, it turns out he married the essentially the boy's aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they didn't overtly say that in the beginning, but we
I didn't know that was like a. I just
but
I thought they told you that like.
No, but
she goes, oh, like sister,
right?
And I was like, oh, she's her aunt. I'm like, that makes sense,
right? But they with his mother spirit, like with the spirit who was his mother, like we just I don't know. Anyways,
I didn't know. I guess I didn't think of it as a thing to figure out. Was all.
Oh.
But yeah, it was.
The animation of the harem was fucking creepy with his face coming out of the beak. Like
coming out. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like there was. It's one of those movies, like I said, where like I could think about it a lot. I mean, obviously the big metaphor is obviously for him losing his mom and then having to come to terms and like accepting his new mother. And then like also that wasn't like I don't know if you knew this. I didn't find this out until afterwards. That wasn't they were referring it to like a birthing chamber. That was like a tomb.
Yeah.
And those things were like spells to like ward off death or whatever.
Okay.
That she was in. I guess there's like this is one of those ones it's almost worth watching again in the subtitled because it also translates different, and it didn't have in Japan. It didn't have they didn't do any advertising. They didn't do a trailer. They didn't do anything. This is a movie Miyazaki's making. And then people went and saw it to see what it was. And it wasn't called The Boy and the Heron, that's the thing. It was called How Do You Live?
See, that doesn't
that title make way more sense?
It does.
Because The Boy and the Heron, it evokes a movie more like where like they were like
buddies,
yeah.
See, so
that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, so that did throw me off because he's antagonistic up front, and they're not necessarily paladins. So with the reveal with the heron, so it did the shot. And Miyazaki, phenomenal artist, but the heron was talking. Then I saw the teeth. I'm like, why did he draw the teeth in the heron? Like, no, don't do that. You're destroying the. But then you see the face sort
Yeah,
of
you
coming
see the
out.
teeth briefly when he like taps and you see him briefly, and I'm just like, oh god, that's creepy.
Right.
And then that was to make you, and that was the thing. It was like the title evoked one thought process,
Right.
and then what I saw,
It was.
"How Do You Live" is a better title for the movie.
Yeah.
You know, like, and also even the trailer for it threw me off. It's like America was like, we can't handle whatever this is.
It's too
So
deep.
we're gonna lie our asses off and tell you it's this. And so the whole movie was I was like, what am I watching?
It's kind of like a weird bait and switch, I guess, but I
Yeah,
wouldn't call
yeah.
it. So, but
They've done it before. They did it with that nowhere near as good of a movie. But that movie Jack.
the
movie.
which one, the horror movie or the
No, the kangaroo movie.
Kangaroo Jack?
Yeah. So in the movie, the character gets knocked out, and so the kangaroo does like a rap and talks to him.
Right.
And they made that one like 15-second thing in the movie
Seem like the entire movie.
marketing.
Right.
Because when you actually watch it, it's about these guys where a drug deal goes bad, and then they have to like fly to like Australia, and people are getting murdered around them and shit, and it's like, and there's like, it's like more like R-rated, and like, but when you see the marketing, it's like fun kangaroo kids movie,
Right.
and yeah, and I kind of this is that, you know,
Right. But not in a bad way. Like it's by no means.
No,
like,
I'm just saying, like, if I think that Japan did it right.
Here's a movie.
Yeah, here's a movie. But yeah. So, and How Do You Live is a much better title.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it's by the way, this is Miyazaki's last film.
So says he.
Yeah.
Until the,
So says he. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he said it before.
until you go, beep beep beep. Oh, do you hear that? Beep beep. It's a dump truck of money. Beep beep.
My brain is way darker than yours. I thought you were like, I was like, don't do this. I thought you were like making his heartbeat going down.
Oh no!
Like,
Oh god, that was
I
harsh.
was like, this is a horrible joke.
No, it's a dump truck of money backing up. I mean, the other way.
I get it now.
I mean, the other way, yes.
I am way pessimistic compared to you.
Well, I mean, yours is the more realistic, I guess. My goodness, they're going to keep sucking that. Oh god, he's going to be like hooked up to a machine. His body's going to be atrophied.
This movie took forever to make, by the way, because he was supposed to be able to knock out like 10 minutes of animation a month. But like, really, they were only able to he was only able to direct 1 minute per month. So like,
Oof.
this
It's like a
movie
2-hour
was
movie.
announced, like forever ago.
Right.
Like, yeah.
But
yeah, it was breathtaking. I guess rating. I mean, there's only so much you can really say about the movie. Like you kinda
have to watch it.
experience yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like what, like to you, like what's a moment that stood out? Like,
So it's stupid, but it was just like when at the very end, all is said and done, it's like, what happened to that old lady? And all of a sudden, she just shoots out of his pocket. It's like, oh shit! Oh! So that I guess that's my funniest, best whimsical moment out of the movie. But I don't know, favorite part.
There's so many creepy ones.
There's a lot of creepy visuals in this movie, but that's just sort of his style.
I've had parakeets before as like, you know, like pets and stuff, and like, yeah, these ones are creepy as fuck. And then like, even when they come out and they're like, oh, cute, they're like shitting all over them. Like, what is going on? And then like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like,
yeah.
The part like with the pelicans all trying to like,
in the graveyard. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of weird imagery with birds. A lot of weird bird imagery.
Yeah, and then like, oh yeah, okay, for me, they're like, oh look, they're flying, and now they're gonna become people, and yeah, and then like, oh, I'm like, oh, so they're explaining how souls are, and then like you're just like, oh my god.
Oh shit.
So they're just eating souls, and then they're like, the lady's like, I'll save you, and then she's like burning everything, and you're just like so, and then I'm just like, what are the implications of this? Like, you know, and then like they found the pelican, and you're like, oh, you evil bastard, and they're like, we didn't choose this life.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh god.
God.
Can you imagine being a child living through this? Like, you're like, nah, this is heavy, and I'm in my 40s, man.
Being... Well, you know what? Tie that into Anita Blake with the lichens. They didn't choose that life. They were just... It just is. This is how you live now. Accept it.
Yeah, like, we were starving. We didn't want to eat the souls. Kill me.
So,
Jesus.
I always, you know what I love is just, God, going back to the animation, because this is one of those things where I can pull a Frosty and just look at the movie, shut everything else off and look at the movie, and that's a lot of the times what happens with Miyazaki films, and that's what's sort of cool about them, is that you can sort of turn on different filters and just watch it in different ways.
Well, I think he gives you ample time for it too, where he just kind of like, because they are kind of, yeah, and they're kind of relaxed movies. You know what I mean? Like a lot of it is just like, I'm walking through this world. Look at my shirt blowing, and it's all like, some dude drew this, and you're just like, damn. Yeah, like by hand. You know, it's crazy.
So
hey,
so shut up. Oh, I was going to say, like, the harem was sort of like the Cheshire Cat, if I were to like compare him to things. Less a buddy, more of like
in
a
a
antagonistic
sort of way, in a
kinda,
crazy holy shit. Yeah, like,
kind of. I thought it'd be like, hey, harem, let's go into this enchanted forest, and
I guess my brain made this up unless the marketing was this tricking. Maybe, I guess, because he did have the wooden sword, but in my brain it was like shots of him being like, yeah, I'm preparing for battle, and there's a heron with me, and the heron looked all sick, and like I was just like, oh.
And then the scene happens, and he just bites it.
and then like, but that was the trailer I imagined before I saw this. I guess I don't know. I gotta watch the trailer, because that was the movie in my brain that I was sitting down for. That's the part that I just can't get over.
Right.
And then I was just like, yeah, it that was like, boy, the heron to the heron being like, now look how messed up I look, and then kill me. I don't want to eat souls anymore.
Existence is pain. But you shut up and take my money nonetheless, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying I didn't love it. I'm just saying, like,
it was a different movie in your head.
Dude, this movie kind of just blew. I see why it won all the awards. It won a Golden Globe Award for Best Animated Film Feature. And it's the first hand-drawn, non-English language animated film to receive the prize. So, yeah. And Batman voices the fucking weird-ass heron, like, which I didn't find out till afterwards. Like, wow, that was him?
That's weird.
Wow.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it at all.
Yeah. Well, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anywho. Then we had... we got... It's 12 o'clock. Yeah, we got time.
Yeah.
We had. Did you? I'm guessing.
I haven't caught up with Kite Man yet.
There's only one more episode of Kite Man. You gotta watch.
Okay, now I get to binge it all the way through now.
So we're 9 episodes in. This is to get to the other side. Hell yeah. And so it's continuing the story. Basically, they're on the run now. Yes, I know, Cat. They're on the run. They decide to put the anti-life equation briefcase in the back of their chicken wagon truck.
Mm-hmm.
And that way it's as far away from Glider as possible. Because it doesn't, Kite Man, it doesn't work on Kite Man. It's just like, I'm Kite Man, yeah.
Hey.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, so it just doesn't affect him. It makes Glider. But anyway, the chickens are like, oh yeah, nothing will go wrong with it. And the chicken like taps it a couple, like, this is mine. His eyes glow. It's just chaos ensues. The chicken goes all kaiju, and there's my favorite part of the episode, because this is a joke that works on so many levels, and this is why I think this show's funny. Is it shows like the chicken like wanders over to, it's like killing everything. It wanders over to like a Ferris wheel, and like, and it's like this like young couple, and they're like saying something kind of annoying. The young couple is saying, chicken's just like, and then it like it comes down again, and then like it's like an older couple, and they say something, and it's hump, and then it's another couple, and they're like, yeah, you've convinced me, I'll go vegan, and then the chicken's like, you've been spared. And like, but the in chicken, but what's even funnier, and I don't, maybe I'm just making this up, but like the other were traditional couples, and this was a lesbian couple. So it's like, I'm wondering if this is them mocking those people that specifically mock their show. You know, because like you could see like this is them just antagonizing them just a little bit, being like, oh look, they're traditional couples, each got eaten. You know. I think so anyway. I think it's a joke that works on a lot of levels. Cracks me up.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's a good show. So boy, there's a lot that goes on. Goldilocks and Bane story B continues. It seems like every episode Bane's got his own like thing going on. It sometimes winds in with the main thing.
Nice.
She accidentally uses the porta potty. Or not the porta potty, the portal potty. She's back in the 80s, I guess. She's like, oh, I'm the worst babysitter. Oh, and then Darkseid shuts. Fucking Darkseid's in this one.
Nice.
He's David. Fucking great. And like,
David is Darkseid, nice.
He's got his choir behind him. And then like every time he walks, Darkseid, it's Darkseid, and like he just says stuff, and they just like just repeat it or do it perfectly. They say stuff for it. It's just silent. It's just, I don't know. Like, you'd have to watch it. I can't nail it, but like, trust me, just their whole bit is hilarious.
We haven't seen Darkseid in this universe yet, have we?
Yeah, he briefly, remember he was like, I was a speaker at the Republican.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
But he's been in Kite Man because, what's her name? Malice is a Fury. And so she's his, like, daughter, goddaughter, I guess. And like that was the thing. She got cut off because she's like a rich girl because she's got Darkseid as her dad, and then like, but then she gets cut off, and then like, and they hire her, and then like Darkseid's like, I am so proud of you for hiring my daughter, and then like, he sits down and has a drink and stuff, you know. But now the anti-life equation has shown up, and so
right.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good show. There's even jokes about like, you know, like you have to be like crazy. You have to be like somebody that thinks it's fun to just punch Superman in the face or something, and then like Darkseid he goes through. It's really good. Yeah,
it's funny.
So yeah, check it out. We got one more episode, and unfortunately, this excellent show is coming into an end
until it gets renewed. I'll binge it.
Hopefully it gets renewed. I mean, I don't know how many people are watching it. I'm watching it. I know a couple of people who watch us watch it. Because I mentioned I was like how much I love Bane, and then it was like, and then someone blanking, they were like, yeah, I love Bane and his explosions.
Explosions?
Bane in this show is so funny, dude.
Ah!
Like,
He's like all the
yeah.
Banes in one Bane.
Yeah, it's just exactly. My favorite part was him jumping down the pit and avoiding all the traps and everything. He's like, "That's a moving exactly like me." And then like Kite Man and the Golden Glider just float down the middle, and everything, all the traps going like off around them, but not hitting them. And then like he's like, "Oh, I'll just go fuck myself." And then he just walks away, pissed off. It's so funny. Oh man. But yeah, his story with Goldilocks is good.
So, how did he summon Goldilocks? What happened? Like,
It's because Queen of Fables is in.
oh, that's
this
right.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and there's even like a brief story about like there was a revolt in the Fables book, and then she goes in and then she just like nukes someone, and then like they're all like, "Oh, we'll do what you say," and then she comes out, and then she summons 3 bears, but the fight's already over. Oh yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like they try and attack Noonan's, but like Noonan, the bartender, is like super badass apparently.
Fuck yeah.
He's like, yeah. He's just like this grizzled guy, and he's like, yeah, they're here threatening us, but you kids enjoy your time. I've got this, and he just like fucking beats the shit out of everybody. And then like the villains jump in because it's their bar, so
Right.
like all the regulars and stuff. Like, that's why you need to watch this show. This is about a bar and the regulars. Okay, how are you not watching this?
I'll watch it when we get off. I'll put it on. That's awesome.
Anyway,
it's fun having a bar full of regulars. It's just like hanging out with your homies at work. You're not working. You're just hanging out with your homies.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Well, they own it. They own the bar now.
Nice.
So yeah, it's funny. It's still all about Villigans, like, is their competition. See, the thing is, I can't mention where Cap works, but Cap works at Villigans. So this bar is Newman's.
Oh my goodness. Anywho, God, we got 20 minutes. What are we doing? We got.
You said you had another rant.
Oh my God, my father reached out to me, called me even. He doesn't text, he phone calls. I hate phone calls. You text me. Framing it as if, I would like you to take me to the grocery store. Okay, I will go and help you take you to the grocery store. I go to pick him up. He has a little carrier. What is that carrier, I ask. It's a little carrier. Gets in the car, says, I need you to take me to the Orange County Animal Shelter. Well, why do you need me to go there? I need to drop this off. Well, I'm not driving all the way over there. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? And finally,
why does he have to do it like this?
Finally, after squeezing it out of him, he admits that in his retirement he's lonely and wishes to have a companion, and because he can't have a dog because he has a hard time getting around, he decided to get a cat, and he wanted me to go help him get a cat. To which I said, a fucking cat! God, get a bearded dragon. Get a bird, but a cat. A fucking cat. So, my feelings on cats. They're evil. Dogs are cool. Here's my dog. She's chilling. That Chungus girl right there. So we go to a shelter, and we are greeted with all the cats. And
how can you say he's evil?
So evil. So here's the thing. My papa, he's just lonely, and then here's the thing. There's among the cats, there was a guinea pig. Like, Papa, here, check out this guinea pig. Check this out. Walked up to the guinea pig. Hey there, guinea pig. And what do you think that a guinea pig did? It said, fuck you, I'm a guinea pig, and it ran immediately into its little hidey hole, waiting for the larger prey animal to go away. I think they see by shadows. Some prey animals, they have bad eyesight, but they'll see like shadows coming near them. That triggers their prey instinct to immediately seek shelter. That's important later on. So my papa, he goes into an area I believe is like for personnel only because of just how it looks, but there's still critters inside there. So we go in, and it's a larger critter cage with all the different multiple levels. So there's a bunch of kittens in here, right? So I kneel
Are you
down.
really bad cat allergies?
Yes, and that's also important because I try to take allergy medicine every other day because I've become allergic to dogs now. So I usually take one every day, but I take a Zyrtec every other day, and it helps. So
By the way, in case the cat is going to be around you, here's a tip. You can buy cat food that is made with chickens that have been around cats, which produces, or not chickens, but the chicken eggs. Apparently, if chickens that hang out with cats, when they lay eggs, and then if you mix that into food, it blocks the protein or whatever in cats that makes them produce the primary allergen that people are allergic to.
weird.
Yeah, so get that cat food and then feed it to the cat. Don't make it yourself because there's no guarantee that you're getting it from chickens that
Right,
are around
right.
cat.
Well, when
But you can actually buy this.
So, here's what happened. I kneel down, and there's 3 little kittens, and 2 of the kittens just sort of look at me unbothered because they're cats. They don't give a shit. But then one of them sort of emerged, sort of like a smoky gray, a little brown in there. Emerged. It just looked at me, and it said, "Hey, human, I sense you have a distrusting of cats. Well, I am here to assure you that yes, even though I am an evil cat, I'm a cute cat. But let's face it, aren't you yourself just a little bit evil also? So let's be real here. Let's just be really transparent here, human. I'm coming home with you today, and there's nothing you can do about it." And I'm like, "God damn it, you fucking cat. You fucking did it." I put my finger in there, it just sort of went boop with its nose. Didn't do like the whole nothing. It just sort of like, "I acknowledge your existence, human." It sort of allowed me to boop its snoot, and then it sort of casually meandered on. My papa saw this, and he said, "That one." I'm like, "God damn it, I've already had this, constructed this inner dialogue in my head for this fucking cat." So, we asked for cat. There wasn't any information about it, so its name was Goose. The moment that's a perfect name. Goose. It's perfect. So, we take the little kitty area.
I think the Dark Lord Brimstone is a pretty good name. Ask me, but okay. We all have our opinions.
Okay, but hey, come on, Goose. So, we take...
Lord Brimstone.
So, we
Have
take...
you seen him when he's laying on his throne all Jabba Hutt style? His big old gun, like... He like has that energy, boy. You're movie, Jedi. I've even like picked it up sometimes and slowly moved it. Like, I imagine there's like things carrying him. Like...
So we take Brimstone to a little area so we can get to know the kitty. First thing the kitty does, there's a bench and some toys. First thing kitty does, immediately goes under the bench. All right. Well, okay, come on out there, buddy. Cat doesn't want any affection, doesn't want to be held. It sees toys, it wants to play. Okay. So we go and play with it, and it would bat the thing, which is cute. It was doing the papa, papa, papa. It was cute. But see, I was afraid it'd have its claws out. It didn't have its claws out when it was doing the kitty bap. And that eased me, because, they have their fucking claws, and that scares me, because they can just go bap. So...
Yeah, I got the other day. It is, yeah. They get. It depends on your cat. Like my last cat, never in a million years would hurt me. He was just like he wouldn't hurt anyone. Like there was one time my mom was like giving him a bath, and she was holding him so he couldn't get out of the water. And like I was like, "Mom, you're drowning him," because his head was his nose was below the water. Yeah, and he was just like, but he was like, well, I guess I'm gonna die now. And like, he wasn't gonna like bite her or do anything. He just was like, this is it. Yeah. But then like, but against like a cat, he was lethal. He was like the boss of the neighborhood. So that was the thing. The cat, not Brimstone, but another cat I lived with, tried to like be like, oh, I'm the top cat around here, but it was like a bluff. He had nothing to back it up. And my cat was just like,
nope.
no, you're not. Like, and then he was like, oh shit, and he just ran. And that's the only time he ever hurt me is because I had to grab him to stop him. And he thought the cat was fighting him.
Right.
And I've never felt his full rage before. He bit straight through my hand.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So, Mine Papa decided to take this little lethal weapon home with him, so he's now a cat owner. Now, the first thing this cat did, the moment he took it home, ran under the bed. So, it's sort of like Minecraft, right? You're sort of just like dropped into an unknown world, but you're an apex predator trapped in an adorable kitten body. You have to, what do you do first? Establish a shelter, get to know your territory. So it was underneath the bed, chill there, and it sort of peek out and be like, okay, this is cool, and it ran under the bed. And just slowly started to expand its territory outward from the bed. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's, there's two cats. There's one guy that calls them tree cats and bush cats. Tree cats, they seek height to get away, and bush cats seek like under the bed. But generally, what it is cats fall in love with where they are, their territory, and so like that's why they have trouble when you change positions. Again, my weird cat was the exception to it. I brought him home. He was like, I was like, "Here's a toy mouse," and he was like, "A mouse." And he was like, he just was like, "Bro, this is great." And then he was just like, "Well, I'm tired now." Boom, and then he just climbed into my lap, and then like he went to go eat, and I just went out to go have a cigarette, and then I just like he was just like, "Where are you?" He just as soon as he came home with me, he was just like, "You're my everything," and I was like,
Aww.
"Okay." Yeah, you don't get a lot of those cats.
That's a very Frosty response. Okay.
Yeah.
So Goose came home with us.
It's a joke you see online, but I love the thought that it is like you're just a little kitten, right? And then some giant just comes up, picks you up, he goes, "You're my friend now," and then just walks away. Because that's what you do.
Pretty much. So, my goodness, I need to check in on Mine Papa now to see the progress of this cat. He's never had a cat before, and he never liked dogs.
If you have any questions...
Yeah, but what he does have is a fucking Tesla coil. Now, this is the fucking bzz, 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 like the fucking thing looks like a mushroom, and you turn it on, it does the fucking thing, but it doesn't have the glass around it. It's just so it's just an open current. And I told him, "Papa, if that cat ever crosses you, just turn that on and let him figure it out himself," and he will. Because cats are fucking evil. He let that into his house, even after it had this like internal discussion with me. "Hey, human, I'm a cat. On behalf of all cats."
You know what he should do though is definitely just the tips, the very very tips. Just keep those clipped.
Yeah.
But only the very tips, because if you don't know what you're doing, it's easy to like cut
into the pink. Yeah. Ooh.
But like if you just do the tips, then it saves your furniture, saves you, saves everything. And no, I give that advice. I can't stand it. Something about that. And just no. Yeah, and then my cat makes it like my old cat was just like, "Yeah, I'll just do whatever you need." Right. This cat is just like, no. And like he's like pleading with you, and then he resorts to biting, and like I can't do it. I just have to like hide while my sister does it oh god, yeah. Yep. Right now he's sharp. It sucks when he's sharp. Cats. I love cats. We love cats here
Evil.
at Pitch Nerds.
Evil. Evil.
They're not evil.
They're evil.
There's someone I was to this day. It's gone now.
So, if anybody who watches this would like to give us a bag of money to appear at any type of pop-up function, please let us know. And what attire we could arrive in. Be happy to do it. Plus some spending money.
I mean, definitely you. I will. I'm more of the guy in the chair.
So Dan and I, we went to go see Mastodon Lamb of God the other week, and because of how I was approached by some people with cameras to be interviewed to listen to a sample of Mastodon's new album, but it was like half a sentence. It wasn't the full sentence, and God, they just interviewed me, and I went on a diet. I have you seen Mastodon before? Yeah, last time because of this guy over here, pointing to Dan, and I was trying to explain to them how when we tried to do the wall and everybody ran at each other, how one step in, I immediately ate shit and I didn't get to be a part of it. And I felt like Peter Dinklage at the end of Game of Thrones Season 1, where here's this whole big King's Landing where the fight's going down, and he's taken out really early on, and he wakes up and everything's already... It's like the aftermath. That's what it felt like. I could have been a part of this big thing, but I fucked up 2 steps into the thing. I didn't even make it far enough to be trampled. That's how... It's like when you're playing Mario Kart and you hold down the accelerator button too long before you go and you spin out at the beginning. It was like that. So I was trying to explain that to them. They edited it out to me just going do to the music, which is fine. I understand.
I remember you talking about that. Yeah. I think they caught the vibe, you know.
Yeah.
I think that was a good editing choice. You know? it captured you well. I mean,
sure.
It was like you saw this long story, and they just. Yeah, that's about right.
Anywho,
I remember what it was.
Okay.
Pitches. What do we got in the old tubes, creative wise? What kind of brain juice you got going on these days?
Oh, what sort of create juice do you have going on these days? What pitches are we doing?
I don't know. So let's think about this. What do we want?
So we were doing our villain or antagonist pitches. We were going to wait for super kill. Why don't we do our pitches, our villain pitches when we come back?
I think you want to hear ours, though, is the thing.
Yeah.
So
do you want to backburn those and just have them?
Yeah. We backburn. That's what I'm saying. Let's figure out. Let's do those when he can come on.
Okay.
And then let's just use the last of our time. Let's brainstorm.
You know what we should
ideas.
do? Okay, so you know what let's change it up from one specific franchise. Why don't we go with a structure of film? Let's take.
We've done that before.
Yeah, okay. Here, okay, I got it. Here, where's the fucking pitch storm? Get out, pitch storm.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We want to do a full pitch storm movie.
Yep.
All right, this will be fun. This is a game we haven't played in a long time, but it is pretty fun.
Okay.
I'm just explaining to people that we should play again.
Yeah.
All right, how does this work again? I just grab one at random.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you get a young gangster.
Okay.
Will do anything to get to the top.
Okay.
And he makes contact with dangerous aliens.
Oh, fuck
You know
yeah.
what this reminds me of
Mm,
is Fall Guy.
mm,
The movie in the movie, the
mm.
tagline is like, it's high noon at the edge of the universe, and like and then like she's like trying to get the director stoked. She's like, come on, you've got a hit on your hand. It's high, and she's like, yeah, I know, it's high noon at the edge of the universe. And like, but yeah, so you got a young gangster that will do anything to get to the top, makes contact with dangerous aliens.
Okay.
Any thoughts?
God, my brain went straight to quantum. God, that can be the framework for, God, just about anything in quantum. Hello, youngling. My youngling, a wild youngling, appeared.
You remember how the game works? You gotta like.
Yeah. So what is it? So you're given the premise, you come up with a thing, and then you drop the card, and then.
Yeah, but give me your thing, because I get to like.
Okay.
You're like, ah, ha, ha.
Okay. So what is again an up and coming
A young gangster that will do anything to get to the top makes contact with dangerous aliens.
Okay, so plopping this in quantum, have something pertaining to the Commonwealth with the Nord. Human gets a hold of, because they deal with the black market. They control everything. They're the bureaucracy. They control everything. So trying to find a way to get some type of information or something, or needing some type of information, but having to go to them in order to get it, and the price you have to pay to get that information from them, sort of framework. Yeah, work with that.
Crazy idea. This is your producer coming in.
Okay.
And let's add a TSA agent fighting for justice
Yes.
as a love interest.
Yes.
So I'm going to take a picture of this and I will send it to you, Cap, and that is the movie you must make.
Okay. Isn't there another card that's in there, or is it just the two?
It's just the two, and
Okay.
then the producer. That was why you had to like. Do
Okay,
your
yeah,
brief
okay.
pitch.
Okay.
All right,
Done.
here's mine. I got a huge jock that just wants to be a ballerina.
Okay.
Discovers a hidden island full of mythical creatures.
I feel like both of
So,
these are
I mean-
custom tailored to like both of us. This feels great.
I guess this one feels a little like reductive. So, what would be my pitch? I'm gonna try and I want to elevate the concept a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play. I would play the movie,
Mhm.
but like Captain America,
Mhm.
where I don't do any kind of meta. I just sincere.
Mhm.
So it is about a guy. And he's a big jock, but like, you know, he admires ballerinas.
Okay.
and
It's like a okay. Okay.
and like that's like actually him like deciding that's what he wants to change his career to.
Okay.
And then he discovers a hidden island full of mythical creatures. So kind of like, and that's what inspires him. And then he comes back at the
The
end
greatest
of the ballerina.
place in Swan Lake. Yes.
And then here's my producer note. Perfect. Only make it a musical where everyone is pregnant. What the fuck? I tried to elevate it, and now everyone is pregnant.
Have it be okay. You know what? Menopause the musical.
I don't know what to do with this.
Okay, so
This
treat
is the
it.
worst
No,
thing
no,
I could've ever
no,
done.
no! My goodness, no, Frosty, no! Treat this like Menopause the musical, but about a trans woman. No, a trans man. A trans
I
man.
have-
Yes, a trans
have-
man who is pregnant.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and I need to re-roll that.
No,
I can't-
no!
I
I'm
can't- I
spitting
can't-
fire here, Frosty. A trans man
No,
is told
sorry.
through the style of.
I'm gonna pull a new one. That one just sucked. But if we actually, okay. Uh,
Menopause the Musical. Have you not heard of Menopause the Musical?
I'm not doing that. I don't know how to fucking make that work where it's not like weird. Because like, what would I have anything to say? I'll work with it. I have no idea what I'm gonna do.
No, you can change it. It's fine. It's fine. No, change it. Please change it.
It works as like a game that you're playing, but
Right.
not like coming up with a full pitch. Okay. What if all the characters worked in a circus? I could.
Okay.
Movie writes itself.
That writes itself.
See, now it feels like it's too easy compared to what I had before. Like,
Audience, what do you think? Should he embrace if everybody is pregnant or is part of a circus? You choose.
everyone is super pregnant. I don't know. I guess that would be the only way I could pull that off. Is like just have a character just pop out and go, and everyone is super pregnant, and then like, and then that just happens randomly. Like,
What if they were all infected by xenomorphs? That would still technically make them impregnated.
I will keep them pregnant. I'm gonna come up with something. I think I solved it.
I'm sure I'll tell you, trans man who is pregnant, done through the style of the Menopause the Musical.
So bad.
Embracing,
So bad.
you're trying to embrace the masculinity of being this masculine human, but no, you're really effeminate and into being a ballerina, but you're still a trans man or something. Oh God, please pick another card. Please pick another card. That or infect him with xenomorphs. Do something. They're all They're all infected with Star Road.
Wait! You will not believe this. I just cut the deck to a random position. This is how bad this card wills itself into existence.
Perfectly. Only make it a musical where. Drew it twice. When the universe speaks, it screams. There you go.
Holy crap. Alright, here we go. How can we tie this to the Harry Potter franchise? Boom.
That's easy. That's easy. That's too
They're
easy.
all easy
Go
compared
back
to
to the
pregnant.
pregnant one. You pulled that one twice.
Fine. I hate this. Alright.
This is fun. It'll be fun. And see if you can do it without becoming the W word, or being accused of being the W word. Or plop it within the Star Wars mythos and make it tasteful.
I have ideas.
Okay. They're all impregnated with xenomorphs.
That was definitely a thought I had. Or what if it was just
And all this fever dream of being a ballerina is just his body's coping mechanism of like this thing bursting out of his chest. Yeah, he can work with it.
Or what if the movie itself was a pregnant pause?
Oh.
I don't even know what that actually means, but I've heard that word combination before.
You're
so
gonna Google that and give it
I'm
meaning.
gonna Google the shit out of it. I assume that means like a pause where you think about shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
This will be fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
I'm gonna come up with something.
Okay.
Still, I think the best thing to do is just have it be. My brain. Oh, this is. I'll tell you off camera.
End the show with a nerdy quote, and thanks for watching. Tune in not next week, but the following week for these wonderful pitches. We will be reviewing Kroll, and we'll be reaching out to everybody on all platforms to help us assemble the list of our new 100 combatants for Season 2 of Battle Nerds, right? Yeah? Should do that.
I'll put together a list.
I'll throw some names that haven't been used before.
I can just send you. I'll just email you the list, and
Okay.
you can see who's on it.
Okay.
Anywho, let go, let go, let go, let go. I was just saying you're not evil, and then you bite me.
We're gonna end the show right there. Bye. Just kidding. He really wants to do his quote. Do the quote.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back. It was teasing. That was just funny. End the show with a nerdy quote.
Thundercats.